Hello everyone, and today I'm doing a video that I promised you guys, which is my top 10 favorite Legend of Avatar characters, Legend of Korra, and the last Airbender series together. Now, I came up with characters who I just thought were the most fascinating, most unique, clever, in depth, or all around the most enjoyable to watch. So I nailed it down to a good solid 10, but before I do that, I'm going to give it some honorable mentions. Bolin, I really liked how he was a younger, more funny, more bashful of a character than he was to his older brother of Mako, essentially. But I thought Bolin's a great character. Then Beilong, she's a great supporting character. Appa, the big floating thing that Aang rides on, is a great character, even though we don't see much of him. It's just a cute animal. Asami, great character. Sokka, surprisingly didn't make it on my list. And last but not least, Pabu. Pabu just didn't make my list. I do love Pabu. He's just a cute little red raccoon, red panda. Looks like the size of a raccoon cat. I don't know. But oh well, those are my honorable mentions. But here's my top 10 favorite Avatar characters. Legend of Korra and The Last Airbender. Number 10. Tenzin. Tenzin was a great character. I love Tenzin because he was just a strong, stern airbender who was essentially a great mentor figure for Korra. And their relationship was so interesting and so fascinating to watch. Where Tenzin was, you would think as an airbender would be very, very happy, open, and very, very free thinking, but he's very quiet and stern, and you get a very determined feel with him. Of course, being voiced by J.K. Simmons is always a great plus. And of course, as always, he's such a great role model because he's just so stern, even though we wouldn't expect that from an airbender, essentially. But he's still such a cool character. He really is that classic quiet and stern mentor figure who you really love over time. And in the beginning, you may be a bit turned off by him, but he really is a great supporting character who will always have his back. With his loyalty, his determination, and his greatness, always supporting Korra when she needs it. And I think he is always a great character because of that. Alright, number 9, Mako. Mako is the older brother to Bolin. Bolin was one of my honorable mentions. I thought for me, at a certain point, I was considering these two a tie. But I do like Mako a bit more because of his more determined loyalty to Korra, and I love how he's much more of the straight man to Bolin's more fun, more operatic, more sporadic feel to him. Mako is just so focused and so determined, and then when he meets Asami, you can really feel that beautiful attraction to her. Like he's just completely falls head over heels for her, and seeing how his arc with everyone else turns out to be. Is just so fascinating in my opinion, and he's a real loyal, dedicated, great character who has always had, just like with Tenzin, who's always had the support for Korra, and he was always there for her, for better or for worse. And even when he tried to be at the lowest point with Korra, I mean, even at his lowest points, even when he had to break up with Korra, he always was a character who you could identify with. He always was a character where you were like, I can see where you're coming from. He really was that quiet, loyal guy who always tried to be the most logical person around. And for that, I really admire Mako a lot. Number 8, Zuko. Zuko? Wait, no. Number 8 for me is Iroh. Iroh is an excellent character. I love the character of Iroh. He's just really fun to me. To me, he's very fun, warm-hearted, and he's a firebender, which you would expect to be very, very ferocious, and very tenacious, out there type of character. But he's very calm and very happy and reserved. He loves making tea. And he helps teach Zuko, just how to be more free-willed and a bit more in tune to himself, where Zuko was just so determined at least to get Aang, but Arrow is just a great. And yet he also had to be stern within his own right. He knew how to be quiet, calm, and stern. And yet he was very. It's like he was a mix of an airbender and a waterbender, but in a firebender's build up from childhood. But he was still so fun to be around. And Arrow for me is one of the most delightful and fun characters in the whole series. And because of that, he's a huge highlight in my opinion. And yeah, Arrow is a fantastic character. He really is. He's just a fun guy to be around. And even on his more serious side, he knows how to be very cool about that. In my opinion, I love Arrow. Number 7, Zuko. Just like with Arrow was essentially, almost like another alternative. Arrow is essentially the father. He's the uncle to Zuko, but he was more of a father figure to him than the Fire Lord, who is Zuko's actual father, ever was. But Zuko is one of the most complex, most tortured and sympathetic characters in The Last Airbender. It really is, aside from Aang, Zuko's story, it's about following the passion, but yet realizing at a certain point that your life isn't just about that. And I can definitely agree with that. I've been in that situation, you're following through what you want to do, but so at some point it hits you, you don't have to do this. This isn't just your story. You don't have to do this. No one's making you do this. And yet he realizes that he wants to avenge his own honor for his own father. It kind of feels like, to him at least, is like, by the end to him, it's kind of like, you went, not worth it. My father isn't worth it. Fuck his honor. Screw him. Not worth it at all. And I love him for doing that. And he, like I said before, there's something just so deliciously tortured about him that I think almost anyone can get behind. And he is a brilliant character because of that. And simply put, yeah, I love his character. He's a brilliant man. I mean, he's like, at least older than it. He's like at least 17, 18 years old at least. And I know that what it feels like at that age of discovering what you need to do, but that's what it is what you need to do instead of what you want to do. But nevertheless, he's a great character because of that, and I loved how we can just focus so determinedly on his journey, and how you realize within your own arc of what you want to do in your life, that there isn't just the only one thing you want to do. But nevertheless, Zuko is a great character. Number 6, Katara. Katara is a really sweet, kind, fair, very much an honorable and very honorable and loyal. Well, a lot of characters in the Avatar series are loyal characters, and should be a great attribute in very much anyone really. But what really separates Katara from any other character, in my opinion, is her kind and motherly approach. She really was like that to Aang in the first 2 seasons. In the first 2 seasons of The Last Airbender right here, you get the feeling of her trying to be that emotional comfort for Aang. And her older brother, Sokka, essentially. And I thought her dynamic with those two was so well done. It's so palpable. I always believed it. And she was a character who I always thought like I should be like, that warm, kind, welcoming person. And even though that, she still has her moments. Like I was said in my season 3 review of Fire of The Last Airbender, is that Zuko wants to help them join. And she's like, no, you can't. Due to our past, what you've done to us, I can't forgive it. And that just adds so much more levels to her. And how Zuko wins her affection over by bringing her to the man who killed the mother. Seeing her bloodband makes her, at least in my opinion, a very well-realized character because of that. And yeah, I don't, not just my first 5 right, 10 through 6, it only took me 10 minutes, so I'm going to try to at least make it a bit more faster at least. But nonetheless, here's my top 5 now. This outside noise. Number 5 for me is Azula. Azula is, in my opinion, hands down the best villain in the Avatar period. She's smart, she's tenacious, she's a great villainous treachery feel to not only to her brother of Zuko, but also Aang himself, and she's so brilliant and tenacious and undyingly fearsome to get, just like with Zuko, just to get the Avatar and just destroy him. And this is something about her that's just so unrelenting. She's really much the T.L.A of Avatar villains. She's just so dedicated and so determined to destroy him. And yet she's so smart. And she's so well balanced of character-wise within the second season. Which is Earth. Yes. Is that you get to just see this young girl, like, 15, 16 years old at least, just, like, she's like Hannibal Lecter level smart and T-1000 level dedicated to just taking down Aang, and just for her to become the new leader for the Fire Nation that she wants to be. And to me, she is hands down, to me at least, the best villain in the entire series. Alright, number 4, Toph. Like I said before in Season 2, my review of Season 2, I love Toph since the very beginning. And oh my god, she's awesome. She seriously is. Toph, to me, is just a fun, super enjoyable, young... She's a young, blind, 9-year-old girl who's an earthbender. And her powers are incredible. And the way she's introduced into the series is fantastic. She's fun, brash, aggressive, rough on the edges. And to me, she's just an absolute brilliant character because of that. She's just... The moments you see her teaching Aang is probably the most... Like, I won't say it's the most... It's not the most challenging moments for her, but it's like the moments you get to see it. That's... When you watch those moments, it's that you're just like, that is so her. Like, that is just her in her own pure type of that's just 100% her right there. It's just, there's an essence of how fun and brash and mean, but how much of a smartass she is. And she's too smart, and she's really, really smart, and really, really funny because of that. And I just love the hell out of Toph, and to me, she's an absolute blast of a character. Holy shit. Top 3 favorite characters now. Number 3 for me is Korra. That's right, she is in top 2, but Korra is still an absolute brilliant character. I love how sympathetic, how emotional, and how heartfelt she is. And with Korra herself, she feels a lot of self-aggradation. She feels a lot of sadness for her. She's the last... Holy hell. Oh, whatever. She is the last Avatar. She broke the line. She had her powers taken away twice, at least, that I remember. She's faced defeat multiple times, and we've seen her break down so many times that it only makes her... To me, at least, the more we see of her weaknesses, she becomes stronger as a character, because I personally became that much more emotionally connected with her in those moments when she would just break down, and at least the Avatar kind of overtake her. They're so awe-inspiring, and they're so beautiful, and it helps me appreciate the more human side of being, she's definitely a bit more tortured and a bit more cursed by her own sins than Aang is. But Aang has other things I'll talk about, yada yada yada. But nevertheless, Korra to me is... She's a great, relatable, and she's a real kick-butt modern feminine hero that I really do worship, and I think she's an absolute blast of a character because of that. Korra is, to me, the Ellen Ripley of the Avatar series. She is just a brilliant female action hero, and I love her because of that. She is definitely one of the best, in my opinion, one of my top 5 favorite animated female characters. And if I ever do make a list of that, then I don't think I ever will, but she would definitely be among them, in my opinion, and she's an absolute brilliant character because of that. Number 2, it had very minimal screen presence because it was a look into the past, but it is Avatar 1. I absolutely adore Avatar 1. He is kind. He leads by a great example. He's smart. He's fun. He's so well realized. Even though we only got to see like 2 episodes at most of him, he's just really, really well rounded. And he was the first ever Avatar. He got the powers, those big lion sea turtle things. Like, those were cool to see that happen. How he got the powers together. And to me, he was just an absolutely brilliant character because of that. I loved how we got to see his natural growth. And not his growth, but how it's not his short or anything, but it's how perfect he is and how he leads by an example. And that, for me, makes him why, at least, he's my number 2 favorite character of the series. And my number 1 favorite character of Avatar, Legend of Korra, and The Last Airbender is, well, Aang himself. Aang is, to me, a perfect hero. He is fun, he's youthful, he's full of energy, he's just fun. He's fun to be around, he's constantly positive, he gives a great optimistic and charming view of the world. He's very young, which gives him a lot of identifiability. He feels a lot of pressure and responsibility from his past, and really feels really, really haunted by that, and to me, he's a brilliant character because of that. He's very relatable, and yet he's very, very idealistic. Like, he isn't like a whiny, moaning little kid, nor is he really wide-eyed and excited. He's just a really, really well-balanced, great character, and because of that, I feel so much sympathy and relatability to him. But not just that, not only is he relatable because he's haunted by his past and how he ran away from that, but he's still so Superman-like. There's a sense of him putting his friends first. He is mature for his age. He is very smart. He is so many great things, but still, just like with Korra, he's still so flawed. And with those two counterbalancing it, to me at least, it feels like, in my opinion at very least, a brilliant character realization. And I think, to me, he's just hands down the best character of the series because of his relatability, his inspiring attitude, and above all things, how he treats the Avatar position. Even though he's still so young, and he's still so flawed, he's still such a brilliant character because of that. And in my opinion, that's why those are my top 10 favorite Avatar characters, everyone. I really do hope you enjoy that. And, yeah. Stick around for tomorrow, which I will have my review of the BFG. Up by tomorrow at least, and till then everyone, thank you very, very, very much for watching, and I'll see you in the future for more videos as always. Till then, goodbye, till then.